remember that? I know it's been a couple of days. What kind of things were you thinking the animals need? Something that they need.
Water.
Right, absolutely they need water. Do you need water? You do. Do you think animals get water the same way you do?
And food.
No. But some of them might. We'll have to figure that out as we meet our animals. What else do we
need
need?
water too.
Do you know something we need? We need to eat food, right? Where do you guys get your food from? Where do you get your food from?
The store.
You go to the store. Does anyone go anywhere else?
I
You go to restaurants. Does anybody have a garden? Do you guys have gardens? You boys have gardens too?
No.
Sometimes our animals like
Do you want to
to
record? I'll take
They
her.
don't go to the store very
No, it's okay. I'll take her. Just it's recording, so just point. You can look
often.
through.
What else do we need? What's something else? We need a shelter or a place to live. I bet you guys live in houses or an apartment, right? Do your animals live in houses?
No.
Not like we do, right? They live in something a little bit
No,
different.
birds live in houses.
Birds live in houses. You're right. That's a good point. Sometimes birds live in houses. What else do we need?
Air.
We need air to breathe, right?
Yeah.
Where do you breathe the air in? What part of your body?
Okay.
We get air from the trees. What part of your body does it go into? You know? Into your lungs, right? In your chest. You breathe it in through your nose or your mouth. Do animals do that too?
No.
They do. You're right though. Some animals don't. What about what animals that live in the water?
A fish.
A fish. How does a fish get his air? Do you know what he uses on the sides of his neck?
Jump in the bee.
It's fins. They are kind of like fins. Do you know what that word is? What is it?
A bug. Black animals live in water too.
They do. Good point. What are those called?
Gills.
Gills. Absolutely. Do you have a gill or do you have lungs? You have lungs in your chest. Can you think of anything else we need? We need food and water and air and a place to live. What else?
We need someone to care for us.
You need someone to take care of you. So baby animals have moms and dads that take care of them, just like your moms and dads and grandmas and grandpas. Anything else? Do you guys ever take a bath or a shower?
Yeah.
Why do you do that?
To stay.
Why do you do that?
Because we don't want to be dirty.
Right.
We want to be clean.
You want to get clean. Do you think animals take baths and showers?
Yeah.
Sometimes they do. So we're going to meet our animals one at a time. Do you think you guys can help me figure out how they take care of themselves? We'll see how that's the same and how that's different from what you do. So when our animals come out, we want to be nice and quiet so we don't scare them. Do you guys think you can be nice and quiet? Do you have a question?
Can you start with the smallest one?
Sure, we can do that. We'll go in reverse order today. All right, so our first one is a kind of reptile. I bet some of you have heard of reptiles. Have you ever heard of a snake?
Yes.
You've heard of snakes. I have a snake here, but you don't have to worry because he's not a dangerous snake. I would never bring anything dangerous coming to meet people. All right, I'm going to keep him right up here with me. What kind of snake is this? That is a good question. We call him a hog-nosed snake because if you look at his face, he's got kind of a short nose like a pig or a hog. We're going to touch him here in just a few minutes. So how do snakes take care of themselves? We said that they need something to eat, right?
Like this. Yeah. I know what to eat.
What do they eat?
Rats.
He likes to eat rats and mice. What else does he eat? Any other ideas? Can you think of an amphibian? Maybe one that hops?
I know what this thing do. They wrap around your neck.
Sometimes.
Rabbits and
Maybe
rats.
a little rabbit.
Rats.
Can you think of one? A frog. He loves to eat frogs. He likes to eat other snakes sometimes. Sometimes he eats birds and eggs. Do you guys eat any of those things?
No. Eggs.
You eat eggs, right?
Eggs.
You guys like to eat eggs. He does too. Do you know where he gets his eggs from?
Birds.
From birds. Sometimes he eats other snake eggs or frog eggs or turtle eggs. So he's going to find those in holes. That's a little bit different than the eggs you get at the store from your chickens at home, right? So you said sometimes he wraps around things, right? Does he chew his food?
He
No,
just
he
swallows
doesn't.
it.
He swallows it whole, right? So he opens his mouth up really big. And he swallows his food whole, and it moves all the way down into his stomach, which is right here in the middle of his body. Have you guys ever seen a video of that? Sometimes people have seen videos of snakes eating.
I saw it at my papa's house. I saw a video.
I saw a video of a snake actually choking a little baby.
Yeah.
The baby was choking it.
So our snake, we know he has to find his food outside, right? He's going to find the eggs outside and the mice outside. What parts of his body does he use to find food? You ladies have an idea? He's doing it right now. What does he do with his mouth? What's he doing?
He keeps sticking out his tongue and eating.
He is smelling his tongue. And you're right, he's smelling right now. But he doesn't smell with his nose like you do. He sticks his tongue out and he catches the tiny particles in the air of smell, and he touches them to the roof of his mouth, and it tells his brain what he's smelling. So what else did we say he needs? We said he needs food, right? What's something else that he needs? He needs water. Do you think that he can drink water out of a glass like you can?
No.
No? What do you think he's going to do then? What do you think? He does sometimes. He has a special mouth, and he can use his mouth like a straw. So he sticks his mouth in the water, and he just sucks the water in just like a straw. He's got his own built-in one. You guys ever use straws? Sometimes. And we said he needs a place to live, right?
Yes.
Where do snakes live? This is a tricky one. Where do you boys think he lives? So he's going to go underground. But does he have arms and legs to dig a hole?
No.
No, so he's going to use somebody else's hole. And he's going to go underground.
I know some that live under my deck, and it really scares me.
Sometimes they live under decks. Have you ever turned over a rock and found a snake?
Yes.
Sometimes they're under there too.
I saw a snake right at the edge of my house, and it was a gardener snake, and I almost touched it, but my friends were over and they touched it.
Does he have a door on his house?
No.
No, he doesn't. So he has to do something else to keep himself safe. Because sometimes other animals come into his house, and he doesn't like that. Do you ladies know what he does when something else comes in his house?
Hey,
He wraps around it.
He might.
hey,
He might eat it, you know?
He attacks it with a knife.
You're close. You're very close. So when this hog-nosed snake gets scared, you can put your hands down for a minute. When he gets nervous, he sticks his head up in the air really high, and he opens his mouth really wide, and he hisses, and he makes himself look like a cobra. And then that scares the animals away. But sometimes they're not scared of that. So what he does then is he flips himself upside down, and he holds really still, and he plays dead.
Just like he is right now.
Just like he is now. And so when he does that, sometimes he goes to the bathroom on himself and he makes himself really smelly. And then do you want to eat something that smells really bad? No. So most animals leave him alone. So that's a pretty cool thing that he does since he doesn't have a door, right? It's pretty neat. Why do they eat rats and mice?
Because then they're telling us like really fat and it looks like they can't even see.
That's true. Sometimes when they eat stuff, they can't move very well, and they have to take a few days to digest their food.
Well, some snakes do live like sometimes they live like.
Sometimes they do.
Do you know
Sometimes
we
they're
saw
in the
a
desert
snake?
or
I saw a snake hole before.
We said he needs a couple more things, right?
Venom.
He needs to keep himself clean. How does he keep himself clean? This is a tricky one. What was that?
From the rain.
From the rain? What do you mean? Rain. Oh, from the rain, right? So when he gets rained on, that washes him off. Do you know something else he does?
Also shedding.
Oh.
It's his skin, right? So when you grow bigger, your skin grows with you, but his skin doesn't grow with him. So he's probably going to shed his skin here in a couple days. And he's going to loosen up the old scales, and he's growing new scales underneath right now, and he's going to shed them off.
And they're fresh and shiny when he sheds
Absolutely.
skin off.
Do you guys want to see what his scales feel like?
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. All right, so I'm going to show them to you one at a time with his tail towards you. And you can show me your one finger. Can you show me your one finger? And you can take him and touch him towards the direction of his tail.
Can you keep his mouth away?
I'm going to keep his mouth up here by me. You don't have to worry. You look brave. Would you like to touch him first? All right.
I don't want to touch him.
You don't have to do anything you don't want to.
I want to.
He's pretty smooth. He's not slimy at all. Would you boys like to see what he feels like?
Me.
All right.
Yeah.
One finger.
Hey, what's that?
You want to touch him?
Maybe you. Mommy, I just snake. Are you scared of snakes? How do I get scared of snakes?
That's where he goes to the bathroom.
You want to touch that?
You're next. Gentle. Two colors and he's a crow. He did. Do you know why he lost a feather? He's molting, which is just like shedding.
He's growing bigger feathers.
He's gonna grow all new feathers, right?
Because it's turning winter, so in winter he has to grow bigger feathers to cover the rest of his body to keep warm.
Absolutely. So he needs new feathers. So he is shedding or molting his old feathers and growing new ones to replace them. So I want you to keep an eye out for him. Because he has been shaking his feathers, isn't he?
Yeah.
Do you know why he's shaking his feathers?
No. He's trying to eat that thing. He's like
Any ideas? Do you have an idea?
He's like looking for you. He thinks like he's
We'll hold on to that one for a minute because I'm hoping that he's going to show us something else too. So what does he eat? Does he go to the store to get food?
No.
What does he eat?
He might eat worms.
He loves worms. He really likes mealworms.
Bears will.
What is- what else?
Every bear's white whales.
That's true. What else? What else does he eat?
I think he might eat like other bugs, like some other birds too.
He does. Yep, he eats all kinds of
Like
bugs.
seeds.
Seeds, definitely. Anything else over here? He eats some of the same stuff as our turtle. You got another one?
Berries.
Berries. What else?
Mice.
He loves mice. Anything else?
Breadcrumbs.
He might. He likes to eat grains, so you might see him in a field eating corn or other wheat. What else?
He might like graham crackers. He's trying to
He probably would like graham crackers, even though those wouldn't be very good for him.
but
Can you think of something else?
cricket.
He likes crickets. Yep, he had crickets this morning, actually.
Mm.
So he eats a little bit of everything. And you knew the word for when the animal eats everything. You remember that word? An omnivore, absolutely. He's starting to show us what I was hoping he would show us. Keep an eye on his beak, what he's doing with his beak. Not right now, but when he's reaching around behind himself.
Mommy said no one gets
So he needs to drink, right? He needs to get water. Do you think he can drink from a glass? No, he can't.
I'm wondering.
If it was a really big glass, he could drink from it because he scoops his water. So when you use a spoon and you scoop your cereal up, have you ever done that before? You can
I
scoop
see
it up.
pelicans.
I know.
I'm gonna let him fly because he's gonna go out there and probably sit high up in front of the window, and I'm not sure how to get it down right now. So he's gonna stay here with me.
That's why you have that glove on that person chains.
So since we can't see what his feathers feel like, I brought you guys a feather. that
I
you
have
can
one
hold.
just like that at home, except it's a little bigger.
So you can pass this around so you can see what it feels like. No, I have to take it back to the zoo. His feathers are protected by the federal government.
Wow.
Why?
So technically, any feather that you see outside, unless it's from a starling, a house sparrow, or a game bird, you can't pick it up.
Guess what? I have
Even
like
seagulls are
hearing
protected.
diseases.
Sometimes, but that one has been sterilized. You don't have to worry.
I have a feather this big.
All right, so let's get back to what he needs. He needs food. He needs water. What else?
Shelter.
He needs a shelter. Where does he live? Do you ladies know? He lives in Africa, but he needs a place to be. Do you think he lives underground?
No.
Where does he live?
Oh, I know.
At the zoo, he does live in a cage. Yes. What did you tell me that birds go into sometimes? What did you tell me? A nest, right? So he builds a big nest out of sticks. But from this hand to this hand, he's going to build a huge nest out of sticks. Way up high in a tree. Do you think he likes to live alone in his nest?
No.
No, he doesn't. He likes to live with a friend.
Oh, I know.
Do you think the crows want to live with one nest in a tree, or do you think they want lots of crows to have as neighbors?
Lots of shit.
You He wants lots of crows as neighbors, so he is really going to look for someplace where lots of crows to be.
Okay.
He's... Did you guys all get to see the feather?
Yeah, I was gonna ask you.
No?
I told her not to walk up to you. She was from the bird.
All right, so we said he was shaking his feathers. You guys have seen him shake his feathers, right?
Yeah.
It looks like he might not decide to show us today, so I will have to tell you what he's doing. Did anybody come up with a guess as to why he
just
shakes his
saw it.
feathers? You have a guess? He's shedding some of them. Anything else?
Because he's trying to get all the insects out of him that crawl into him.
He might be. So he is shaking his feathers, and he has to fix them and get them just right. And usually when he does that, he reaches his beak around and he smooths the feathers too. So you see how this feather has kind of a split in it right now? He takes his beak and he runs it over those feathers.
He wants his
And he smooths his feather back together. So he is going to clean himself. It is his feather. He's going to clean himself with his beak. So he has a special oil gland on his tail right back here.
He's saying, give me my
And
feather
he's
back.
going to reach back around there and get some oil and smooth it over all his
Just
feathers.
like ducks and flamingos.
Just like
They
that.
shake themselves to get all the oil out of them. That's
Absolutely.
why they're so shiny.
Do you see why his head looks kind of funny on top? It's not very rounded. That's because he's molding some of those feathers. So I bet this feather that fell on the ground came from his head. So he's going to have new feathers growing. If you stand up and glue your feet right where they are, I want to bring them around to show you because you can see the new feathers growing in. So glue your feet right where they are. Don't move.
But there's no glue.
So when I bring him around, can you see those white things that kind of look like plastic in between his feathers? Those are new feathers growing in. And so probably here in a couple days, the feathers are going to pop out of those. He's all right, don't worry. He's going to stay right here.
claws. Yeah.
I wonder what the one that looks like a blue is. I wonder what that one's gonna be. The green one.
So our new feathers are going to come.
I hope it's
Yes, right back
How much do
here.
you weigh? No.
How much does he weigh?
About 1.
He probably weighs about as much as an apple.
Almost 1 pound.
All right, you guys can take a seat.
Half a pound.
I have one more animal for you.
Is this one on? Oh, you're a lighter. What did it cheap? Deliver.
You're on cue.
Holy cow.
Is it hard to get out? I heard a scratch.
It's hard because I can't see her.
What is that?
Bunny bun! Oh my gosh, I was right.
You were right, absolutely. So do you guys ever see rabbits in your backyard? They kind of look like this one, right? But she's a little bit bigger. She's a lot bigger. She's not a wild rabbit. She is a domestic rabbit. She was somebody's pet before she lived at the zoo. Rabbits need things to eat, right?
Yes. I know cereals.
What do they eat?
Carrots.
Carrots. Those are her favorite food. She had carrots this morning before she came. What else? Anything other than carrots? She likes to eat lots of things. She loves lettuce and other leaves. What else? She does drink water. Do you know how she drinks her water? She does. That. She uses her tongue and she laps it out just like a dog. Just like that. Yep. Absolutely. Where's she going to get water from? When she's hopping around your yard. Where does the water come from?
Yeah.
Right? So
Got a lot of
rabbits like
stuff.
to eat out of people's
We
gardens
actually have to
too.
have a rabbit cage because there's a rabbit hopping around our yard.
Yes. Sometimes people have to put up fences to keep them out. So when she's hopping around, how is she going to find food? What parts of her body is she going to use?
I forgot what I was going to say. I knew it, but I
Take a look at what she's doing right now.
sniffing.
She's sniffing. Yep, she has a really good sense of smell. What else?
She uses her ears.
She uses her ears. Do you guys see her ears? Right now they're pointed straight up, but she can turn them in different directions so she can listen to keep herself safe.
Fox.
Make sure that nothing's gonna sneak up on her. What else?
And she also uses her mouth.
It's really cool. Have you guys ever tasted a lemon?
Yeah.
What does a lemon taste like?
Sour.
Sour. What about candy? What does candy taste like? Tastes like
Sometimes it can taste like popcorn.
sometimes.
Sugar can taste sweet.
It tastes sweet. If we gave this rabbit a lemon, she could taste the sour. If we gave her candy, she could taste the sweet. So she tastes things just the same way you do. So she has favorite foods. She has things that taste really good to her, and things that's not safe, it tastes bad to her, and so she doesn't eat it. She knows it's not safe. She's got a pretty cool mouth on her. Do you guys see anything else that's gonna help her find food? What do you see? Look at her face. She's looking at you. What do you see? Eyeballs, right? Her eyes are on the side of her head.
Which means
Do you know where she can see then?
that means she has a wider view too.
She does. If I stand here with her just like this, she can see all you guys sitting right over here.
Which means
She can see our people over here by the door. She can see you guys over here. And she can see my shirt on this side. So she can see all the way around herself
Wow.
right now.
except
Why does she need to see everywhere? Any ideas?
so nothing can come after.
Right. She sees if anything tries to sneak up on her. Because where does she live? Does she have a turtle shell like to carry on her back? No. Where does she live?
She lives out in the wild. And also, she's prey. So predators come after them.
Absolutely.
Bunny rabbit
So
lives
she needs a place to live. So she can stay
She's part
safe.
of the food chain.
She is part of the food chain. Good observation. Where's she going to go to stay safe?
Bunny hole. She's gonna go to her bunny hole, or if someone else is
Absolutely. So a bunny hole. She's going to go underground. And she doesn't have a door, does she, on her bunny hole?
No.
No, so she goes way far underground. She's got lots of tunnels to get there.
And
then
also
she
she
uses
has to
her
dig.
ears to listen to tell her if something's going to try to come down her bunny hole.
There's a feather right
Do you see her whiskers right now?
there. Yeah.
Can you see her whiskers over here?
Yeah. I think
It's hard to tell right now because the way she's sitting, but when she stands up on her own, her whiskers are as wide as the back end of her body. So when she sticks her face in her bunny hole, she knows whether her back end will fit or not. So she's never going to get stuck underground.
Kind of like cats do that?
Probably they could do that.
Because I saw a movie that said cats' whiskers are as wide as their body hole, so when they go through tiny holes, they...
Before we touch her, do you remember that the bird, he molted some of his feathers?
Yeah. Like she's moving
What is she doing?
a lot fast. She's shedding her
She's
hair.
shedding her hair. What's going to happen?
She's gonna grow new
She's growing new hair. So when you touch her, you're probably going to get some hair on your hand, but that's okay. I'm going to have you stand up and glue your feet to your spot. We'll start on this end. Pretty soft, isn't she? We'll wash the extra hair out here in just a minute. Probably doesn't matter.
I've got to. Wow, nice. She was very small. Mercedes, look at your hand.
Don't worry, we're going to wash that off here in a minute. You want to go up here and touch her?
Here.
She's pretty soft, isn't she? There you go, good job.
No, she's playing over here.
Yep, keep your feet glued to your spot, guys. Yep, you're next. Go ahead and sneak through here. So we can get them over here.
Don't worry.
Would you like to? All right, so I'll have you stick your hands out one last time.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I think
Pretty much. But we do some different things,
we
right?
don't live in holes.
We don't live in holes usually.
We don't live in trees. And we do not live in trees.
We don't usually live in
What do we
trees
do
either.
about that? We don't live in nests.
I'm going to take it with me.
Is government protected?
It is. Yep, I have to take it back to the zoo.
Did it walk through? Is it gonna eat it?
I don't know what they do with it then.
They probably touch and we don't need
Right, do you have any other questions for me before we go?
Like how many of the crow's kind are there left now?
It's a good
There
question.
are a lot. They are not endangered. There are tons of these African pied crows. Good question. What's yours?
I know some endangered animals, like all over the world.
What kind of, give me an example.
Like one of those wolves, the old that I don't remember.
There's a few.
There are many animals that are really soft, but some you shouldn't touch because they could be very sick.
Right, we don't really want to go around and touch animals in the wild because sometimes it could be dangerous for you or for the animal. But all of our animals here, they're trained to come and meet people, and we also test them. The vet tests them all the time to make sure that they don't have any sicknesses or anything.
What's crow's predators?
Sure, crows, predators. That's a very good question. He doesn't have very many. He has to worry about hawks and owls mostly.
Wait, is there a scavenger?
They are scavengers. Yeah, they'll eat anything they find.
Oh, so that's and also, did you saw anything before the snake? Or?
No, the snake was the first one. Do you have another question?
Also, are like how many snakes are there? How many groups?
How many groups? That is a fantastic question that I don't have an answer
Snake
for.
in Michigan.
There's only one rattlesnake in Michigan. That's the Massasauga rattlesnake.
Yes, there's a rattlesnake.
Only one kind. Yep.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You have a question?
Did you know that zebras are endangered?
They are.
I didn't know that.
I'm pretty sure, yeah. I think the last that I read that they're on the list.
Oh, I believe you. I just had no idea. Wow, that's so sad. They're so cute. I don't know. Like, I'll take one as a pet, you know?
All right, well, I'm going to turn them back over to you. I'm not sure what else you have planned for today. So.
Oh.
These white squares. And he's in the middle of the road, and he's pointed this way. Which way across the road are you going to move him? Which way?
That like this way or that way?
Well, which way is his head facing?
This way. Forward.
So you're going to move him in the direction that he is going. So if he's walking across the road this way, and he stops right here, and you drive up and you see him, if you pick him up, you want to move him in the direction that he's going. Because if you pick him up and put him all the way back over here where he already was, he's going to start walking in the same direction again and end up in the road. So that's something that we can do to help turtles.
And also, like if there's grass close by, you can put him over there, and then he could be crying that way instead of like someone else gonna have to keep on doing it over and over and over.
Like a bit, like Frogger or something.
Yeah,
By cleaning up garbage.
absolutely. Because sometimes animals confuse garbage for things to eat, or they get stuck in it. So when we pick up trash, that helps all of the animals stay safe. What else?
One time at my papa's house, I saw a rabbit that was stuck in that was kind of stuck in a snake hole. So I
Mmm.
helped it.
Did you?
I kind of like picked it up and then quickly set it down.
Because rabbits and all those other animals have greedy.
Well, not necessarily, but you always want to be very careful if you're touching a wild animal.
And I knew it wasn't a wild animal